VeeFam, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the VeeFam sessions. My name is Mr. Messer, but you can call me Rob, and I am so blessed to be here, joined by the lovely abundance coach VeeFriend, and just generally just an amazing human, Deb Bowman, aka Diamond Deb. Deb, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I am excited this morning. Very excited for life.
Amazing. Oh, see, right
Life
off
is
the
so much
bat,
fun. Life is
right
so
off
much
the,
fun.
I love it. Thank you, thank you so much for being here and bearing with my schedule. I'm so happy after many attempts of finally getting to do this. Um, Man, yeah, such a pleasure to sit down with people. But you were someone that's kind of I've never really had a chance to connect. And then the dating game, I was like, man, I really like Deb when you joined the dating game, and I'm so happy we're getting to do this. So let's. I want to jump right in, but before we do, to all the present day stuff, let's take a step back. I always like to start. Can you give us the what I call the 55-second Cliff Notes version on who Deb is? Prior to ever getting into this world of Web3 and VeeFriends and all that good stuff.
Um, I guess first and foremost, I am a mom of three lovely children. They are not children anymore, but 18, 21 and 22. They are just fantastic. And then I also have my mom, who's 81, who lives at the house with me too. So I have a full house still. They're all still at home. So that's me now. And then I'm also professionally a CPA and an abundance coach. And the name of my company is ACT CPA, and ACT stands for Accounting, Coaching, and Taxes. So those are the three main businesses that I work on is, people's accounting and I love my coaching, and then I also do people's taxes as well. So that's a little snippet of who Diamond Deb is. And I'm just really excited about sharing my messages to the greater world. So thank you for this opportunity to share my message out into the greater sphere instead of just my little local community of clients.
Of course. Where did we get Diamond from? Is that just a handle you made one day, or is there a story behind there?
I think Diamond, I was born in April, so that's my birthstone. I've always loved diamonds, so diamonds just, and um, my boys were on Discord, and I just literally had to make a Discord handle, so it just made sense to be, oh, crazy name can I come up with? So Diamond Deb was the name that I came up with to have a Discord handle for my boys on Discord. So, and then it just, from there, I adapted it to be my social media handle when I did a coaching call with a marketing specialist, and he said, you need to make sure that people remember you. So find a way. And I was like, oh, I already have a name that someone can remember me by, which is, Diamond Deb. I was like, that's a great way to have people remember and make your life sparkle. I just, it's part of the whole abundance, what's more abundant than a diamond, so.
Right. I was thinking my first guess would have been that was the connection. But yeah, totally aligned. Let's talk about that. Abundance was never a word that kind of was I remember growing up and when Chelsea and I started to do more personal development, we got into like Tony Robbins, we went to one of his events, then it was just kind of everywhere and something we just latched onto and just made part of our life. And one of Chelsea's businesses that she actually started, it was called Abundance Rocks.
Oh, that's
And we
awesome.
debate who came up with that title. It was a crystal business, and I like the double meaning, abundance
Mm-hmm.
rocks or whatever. But anyway, w- talk to me about what, from your point of view, what abundance is. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's such a great perspective to live by, and one that aligns with this community well and with Gary's messages. Um, but talk to me about what that means to you and how you being a coach fits into maybe some of the listeners here.
I started leaning into the word abundance when I read a book called The Architecture of All Abundance. And it just seemed to fit with everything that I was doing. And so from that point, from after reading that book, I really delved into it. And then from there, doing my coaching work, I needed a way to figure out where clients were in on their journey. And so working with another coach, she did a lot of stuff with 0 to 10 scales. So I decided that why not put this abundance metric on a scale to figure out where people are at. And so I want people to always think about what is their 10 abundance life? What does a 10 look like on your scale? Because my 10 will be different than someone else's scale. So to really think about what would your life be if you could really design a life you love and make it a 10 on the abundance scale? And it's not just about money. It's about time, it's about loving your life. It's all the components of making an abundant life. You could be abundant at 20K a year. You don't even need a lot of money to have an abundant life. And that's something that I really Gary has talked about that several times, that it's really important to realize it's not about the money. And sometimes people have really high paying jobs and hate their life. And what good is that? What good is being miserable? So really making the time to find out what brings you joy and moving towards abundance is as I like to say, it's just 1% better, just a little bit better on the abundance scale is what I teach everybody. There's no light year jumps. It's daily 1% betters to get better onto the life you love. So that's how I see the word abundance in people's lives. And of course, every day I have a self-assessment of where am I at on the abundance scale,
Hmm.
so I know where I'm at, so I know where I'm headed. Sometimes people don't take the time to do self-assessment. So really sitting
Guilty.
with yourself and knowing where you're at is so important.
And how, listening, we have maybe people that are young and looking to get into a career. We probably have people that are looking to switch careers, accountants, small business owners, marketers, content creators, maybe other coaches in other fields, teachers. How could what you do apply to, I know this is very vanilla and maybe general, but
Mhm.
how would you, as an abundance coach, work with someone in any random
Oh yeah,
capacity?
it's interesting. I have people all across the career spectrum that come to me for abundance coaching and money and help. Quite honestly, most people come to me for help with their money. And sometimes people come to me, they're 10 on the abundance scale. I ask them and they go, then why are you here if you're 10 on the
Hmm.
abundance scale? Because I can't manage my money, or my bank account is negative, or um, I'm overspending, or I need to save. So there's all those stories. And one of the things I like to tell people is that money is a symptom. Usually, money is not the problem. It's usually something else. And so that's why my coaching practice is way more holistic about your whole life, because usually it isn't just a direct money problem. And usually it's taking the money problem and removing it from whatever else it was connected to. So whether it's stress, so you're spending because of stress, so we actually need to remove the stress from your life. Or I've had several clients that have trauma that connect to their money, so they can't look at their money because it somehow got mixed up with their trauma. And so working with them and their therapist, so we don't do any kind of trauma coaching, but getting them to recognize, oh, I've connected the two. It's interesting on how um, money's usually a symptom. So if you got money
Mm,
problems, there's usually something else going on that's complicating your life, and and the hard part is most people are not comfortable talking about money. So that's one of my favorite topics to talk about. So anytime I can get someone to talk about money, it's just so much fun. I love talking to people that have their money plan together because it's so much fun because I get little tidbits to share with all the people that don't have their money stuff together. So it's just amazing when we can, as a community, we don't talk about money. We literally, people shy away from it all the time. So when we can get people into dialogue, so people who do well with money can actually talk to people who don't, oh,
mm.
it would be amazing. We would actually all just do so much better. It would be so great.
I totally agree, and I've heard this from so many different people. Like money just wasn't talked about. Like I didn't know how much my parents made. It was never an open conversation. And now looking back, I know like when we were struggling, when we weren't, um, just by inferring. But yeah, it's one of those societal things that I would love to see change. And relatively new parents, we're going to try to change that too and change that
Right.
cycle. But it's listening, you're in an interesting spot because you have like the black and white CPA portion, and then you have the holistic kind of emotional side too. So
Yes.
you're a one-stop shop.
Yeah, yeah, I have a very unique set of skills. I've realized that compared to most of my CPA counterparts, they're very black and white. So when people come to me for financial advice, I go, well, I if you do you want just the, proverbial right answer in the finance world, or do you want me to give you my whole spiel
Mm,
on really, well, because making the right financial decision really comes down to the joy factor. It's all about joy. It really
right.
isn't about the right money factor because nobody would ever go spend 200,000 on a college if it was about the right financial decision. The right financial decision would never be to go to college. So it's really, it really comes down to what's going to bring you the most amount of joy in your life, and it's going to get you to the place that you want to get to. So if college is going to get you to the degree that you need to, then you need to spend 200,000 to get to, being a doctor, or lawyer, or whatever. So there's certain professions that you have to have a degree for. And then, so really figuring out what's going to bring you the most amount of joy in and it gets people like, oh, but I can spend whatever I want. I'm like, no, the goal is to get to freedom to spend, freedom to know how much you can spend, so that there's this freedom. So you have, I teach having a bank account that has X dollars in it, and then you have freedom to spend up to that amount. That feels really good. No more swiping stress. Ooh, is it gonna go through?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's how most of society lives. Oh, do I have enough credit on that credit card?
right.
So to really lean into making decisions, that, but again, it's so money's such a complicated issue because it's not just about money. So it's really thinking about, well, I'm doing this in my money, but what is it really about? You know? So what is it in really doing that self-assessment?
I love that. I feel I'm sensing that we need like a money management or like session with Deb for the VFam.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be so
I
great.
because I'm thinking about all the people going back to like we don't talk about money. I'm thinking about all the people that are open about it and very transparent, and then I just know that there's so many more out there just by
Mm-hmm.
just doing the math on that. It's
Mm-hmm.
most people at some point have an issue somewhere where they could extract value from what you're sharing. So
Oh, yeah.
that's for another day.
Yeah, yeah,
Going,
absolutely. And you'd be amazed at how the community has solutions too. Like, I don't even
mm,
have to be the only expert. There are so many
right,
people that have really good um, money skills and, sharing what they do. Because maybe the way I'm going to teach it isn't going to be quite right for them, but just get it as a community talking about money is just so powerful. And, when
mm,
we can teach. I feel that when you have a community that can support you in your, it's so important. That's why I love VeeFriends, is that we all have a community that can support us and, making good value decisions or whatever, whatever it is. It's so
yeah.
cool.
And yeah, I agree 100%. And I'm just a huge buyer. Going back to the abundance thing, maybe we can tie the bow on this. You just find what you're looking for. Like if I'm thinking about like my principles or my one-liners, like my core beliefs of, through my experiences and what I've read and heard, like you just find what you're looking for. If you're going out and the Twitter timeline is a great place to see this play out. If you say like I'm stressed, I don't have any money, I'm struggling, like that's what you're gonna find. You're gonna find other people that associate with that, people that you can, complain to.
Hmm.
But if you live in abundance, right? There's opportunities for me, there's money out there, like that's the reticular activating system, right? The
I
RAS.
love the
Like
I love the
you,
reticular activating
you
system.
find
Yes.
you find what you're looking for. And with the money thing, like successful people like let's take Gary, right? Let's go to the
Mm-hmm.
top.
Yep.
Um, opportunities come to him all the time, because that's how he sees the world. And
Yeah.
now the scoreboard of his bank account is reflecting that. But it starts with, you know, being in abundance and knowing that there's a lot out there, and there is. So I love that. The more people could spread abundance, I think the world would be a better place in so many regards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Um, we just dropped Uncle G's name. Talk to me, talk to me about the first time you heard the name Gary V.
I think I had a coach tell me, "Hey, have you ever followed Gary Vee?" And I was like, "No, I don't know who he is." And so then I went down that rabbit hole of finding out who Gary Vee was, and I was like, "Oh, this is such a cool message." And it was right before the V1s dropped, and I really heard about the V1s, and um, I couldn't like learn enough. Like I learned about it too late that I didn't have enough time to figure out what a wallet was and be able
Mm.
to do anything. So, but then after I saw the success of that, I was like, whatever Gary says, I'm gonna do. So, of course, he told me to buy books. So we bought books. We bought the I forget 12 books. Yeah, 12 books, and then the rest is history. Got a V2 and book games and the whole nine yards. And now I collect cards. Who would ever thought I'd collect cards? It's so
Yeah.
ridiculous. This is the one that's on my desk right now. But I got my Boss Bobcats. I love my Boss Bobcats, so I got my Boss Bobcats.
Oh,
So
nice.
so it's
Oh,
cool to have my V cats. I love all the V cats. Those are my
yes.
favorite.
Do
All
you,
the
are you a real life lover of cats or just in the
Oh yeah,
VeeFriends universe?
I've always loved cats. I do not have a cat right now, but in the past I've had a cat that was my favorite cat. So, but yeah, so if I had to choose between cats and dogs, I'd be a cat person. Um I like them both, but if I had to choose, I would pick cats. It's the silly things of life, but you know what? I really think that the we underestimate how important it is to do just the little things for ourselves, making little decisions that's just going to make us feel a little bit better every day. And so my before I started my whole podcast, I'm going to try to do as many podcasts as I can. The two messages that were downloaded to me that I need to really make sure that I share is that the first thing we need to do is prioritize ourselves. What is it that we need in life? So it's all about me. And people are like, Deb, you can't really say that. Yeah, I can. It's all about me. It is truly, this is my life. I need to make decisions all about me. And same with you. You need to make decisions all about what you need. And then it's 1% better. Those are the two messages that I really want to share with people. And you can apply that to money. You can apply that to your happiness. You can apply that to career. It's just all about you and 1% better. And if we can really get everybody to be healthy with self and do that, making themselves just a little bit better every day, everybody would just, be rock stars, just literally. And
Mm.
it doesn't take, we don't want them to be rock stars overnight. We want them just to grow steadily into being that rock star person that they can be. And that's really the message that is so important to share with everyone because we look at someone like Gary Vee and we're like, oh, we can never get there. Well, he did it by little bits every single day, good habits every single day. I was just reading Atomic Habits, so if I do a lot of habit stuff, it's because
Yeah.
that's what I just was
No,
listening to.
it's so true, and it's such a good message because that 1% could be as big or as little of a chunk as you want. It's very tailored to that individual
Yes.
person, which I love. Um, and all about you, I I love too. Like the whole concept of, putting on your mask before taking
Oh,
care of someone
yes.
else. Like you need to fill your own cup. You can't feed
Yes.
anyone else unless you're full too. Or whatever the saying is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In the airplane, you have to put your mask on first before you put anyone else's on because you'll both die. So it's really, and I think society never taught us that. We were all, you know, um, you know, somehow we somehow forget to live for ourselves and we live for other people, our parents, our friends, our
Mm,
community, whatever. And then, oh yeah, what about me? And it's like, no, no, no. It's really you get as someone who has had codependent relationships, it's really important to have be independent and then come together with another independent person to make interdependence. So when you get two people who are just, rocking it as the best version of themselves, it makes it so much easier to have relationships,
I bet. I
so much
bet. Yeah,
easier.
I struggle with that all the time. Just with my upbringing, oldest brother, single parent household, taking care of everyone. I got into teaching, so now I'm worried about and taking care of, 25 9-year-olds. Uh, now I'm married, now I have kids, so I'm like giving to everyone and taking that time, and like having boundaries to like take care of myself has been a huge struggle. I'm getting like what trying to get 1% better every
1% or
day.
better. That's it. That's all you have
But
to do. So,
yeah, it's
yep,
a struggle.
it is.
That parent thing, like when do I draw the line? When do I say no? I want to do this for myself versus, playing or reading or doing something like that. So that's a big time struggle in the season I'm in now.
Yeah,
But
yeah, absolutely. And I think parents with young children, it's just so much physical activity that you have to do with them. You have to care for them. There's just, help them do so much. And just know that it's a season. So know that you get through that season and then there'll be a different season.
hmm
But definitely, somehow carve out even 5 minutes, like even taking a 5 minute break and showing them that you're taking a 5 minute break can be so powerful. I did a lot of meditation, short meditations with my kids when they were little. So I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I had a book that I could do meditations with them. So, but just literally taking a time out that the joke that I had with my kids is they're like, "Oh, we went to all these fun places. We went to all the places I wanted to." It was like I went to the parks that I thought were awesome,
Yeah,
I went to, I did things with my kids that fed my soul just as much as it fed them. And so really finding ways as a parent to still prioritize yourself while your kids are going to have fun, so really there doesn't have to be a and only me. It can you can find, and then modeling that behavior for them, that hey, this is, I need, time out, and so this is what we're going to do for this next 10 minutes or whatever, because I need a timeout. I need to go do this. um so anyways,
I love that.
so it's really
My,
important that no matter what season you're in your life, that you figure out how to prioritize yourself. And you know in both my marriages, I prioritized my husband. I was divorced and then widowed, and now in the single phase. And it's really, I wish I knew now, like I wish I knew then what I know now, which is prioritizing myself makes it such a better life. Um, and so that's the message I'm really trying to encourage everybody to recognize, that um, I set the tone in my house. So if I'm unwell, my entire house is unwell. If I'm unwell, my
mm,
entire business is unwell. You know what I mean? So really recognizing how, as leaders in this life, as that we need to truly take care of ourselves so that we can radiate the energy and the excitement that we want to show to the world. So that's my little um, thinking, taking life lessons and moving it forward to now. What do I take away from what I've done in the past? And that's why I'm so um, excited about this message of getting out there, that it's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me, and
I
it's self first.
it what you're saying is hitting really hard. I always try to think about this community. A lot of, I mean, we have people, we run the gamut of everyone in all seasons, but there's a huge cohort of, younger parents, young families, and it, and obviously we're full of kind people here, a lot of selfless people,
Yes.
but this message is very important. And just I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Coming, going to my wife or child, whatever, and say, "Hey, I need to do this for me right now," could come across selfish.
Yeah, 100%.
What
It will.
what kind of what kind of verbiage, what kind of tips? I mean, you just said modeling behavior, which is fantastic. Modeling is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
huge.
So
But what do you have like one or two other like lines or tips or pieces of verbiage that someone could take to really like embody this and like
yeah,
actually take that break or do the thing that they want to do for the 5, 10, 30 minutes?
yeah, yeah. So it's self first. So I think self first. Everyone is all about selfish, and it's really self first. And
Mm,
leaning into, let's see, what else would I? Yeah, it's so countercultural because there's so much for self-sacrifice and give to everyone. Um, and so sometimes putting self first is not looked upon as a priority. Um, I know that it is critically important for all of us to find that balance. I mean, there's no magic formula. So this is the hard part, is because what I need and what someone else needs are going to be totally different. So this is where self-assessment comes in. So really
mm,
landing in your self-assessment, because there's some people that could go for days and not need a minute by themselves. And then there's people that need to recharge and they have to be honest with themselves of who they are. So I know some introverts that have to recharge. That is part of who they are in order to be well. They have to go into their little cave and be well. I'm an extrovert, so I love being around people. So for me, my recharge comes from being around people. But I know I need my private time too. But so everybody has to really know thyself. Putting thyself first is so critical. And I love using any kind of um, um, personality test you can to get more self-assessment of who I am. So I love human design. I think human design is one of the a cool rabbit hole to go down. I'm a projector, so and some people are generators, some people. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of talking about, but go find out what your type is. Go find out your Myers-Briggs. Go find out, any kind of. There's all kinds of personality tests. Go find out who you are and live your best life. Don't try to mirror somebody else that's not like you. And so I think the more that people can honor their gifts and know who they are, I think that's how this will make this journey easier. And therefore, you can have a conversation with your child to say, hey, this is who I am. I know I need this. And they can understand you. They'll actually say, oh, they'll get the fact, oh, you're self aware. You know who you are and you know what you need. And so those are the kind of conversations that are so important um, to help them understand people. Teaching, modeling the behavior of, hey, oh, okay, this is your type. Okay, so I get it. You're an extrovert, introvert, whatever, and this is what I need. Um, and modeling that kind of behavior of so but see, this is where it gets really complex because I can't give a one size fits all because it
right. No, it's
really it
very contextual.
yeah, yeah. So but I would say that communication is everything. The more you
Mm,
can communicate what you're doing and why you're doing it, it's so helpful.
bingo. Bingo. Yeah, I forgot about the Myers-Briggs. I've heard of that. I've done the Clifton Strengths. Um, I came up, ideation and futuristic were my top two. I
Oh, I
can't
don't even
remember my
know that
top
one.
one.
I'll have to look up that one. Oh yeah, another rabbit hole.
Oh yeah,
That's exciting.
Clifton's great, and it's just mind blowing because it's like, you have to obviously dedicate the half hour to answering the questions, but when you read your report, it's like, oh man, it's such a humbling moment when
Oh,
you're reading about yourself,
and an Enneagram.
and then
Yep, the Enneagram is good too. The Enneagram, if you haven't done that
yeah,
one, a number.
yeah,
Yep. So I'm a number two. What are you on the Enneagram?
I don't
You
remember
don't
to be
remember? Okay,
honest.
no worries. So, anyways, it's just so those are the really fun. So, people should take time to figure out their personality test types. I think that's part of the self-assessment journey that everyone needs to go on. We have so much information out there that Psych 101 on yourself is so important.
Yeah,
So
and
important.
yeah, it's definitely important to tap into that every now and then as a reflection point. Um, Speaking of, you mentioned you love to be around people, and did you end up going to either one of the first two
I
VCons?
went to both VeeCons.
You did.
Yeah, yeah. And the first VeeCon was fun. I did a 24-hour whirlwind tour of VeeCon. So last minute I decided, oh my God, I could go. I like, because I had, the tickets were so expensive for the first one. And then when they came down to like, I think I bought it 300. And I was like, oh my God, I can go. But I didn't, I had already booked in all these other things around it. So I literally had this 24-hour window and it was going to keep the cost low because I could literally fly in, do the full, I think they did the full Friday or something. And I did, that full Friday, saw the intro with Gary and the comedians, and then ended with Deepak and the I forget who the band was at night. So literally stayed that whole day. It was
Oh
phenomenal.
wow.
Loved every minute of it, connecting with V friends. And then of course I said I have to go to VeeCon. So last year I was there the whole time. Loved every minute of VeeCon 2023, and can't wait for this coming year. It's gonna be so exciting. Oh my gosh.
Uh, definitely, definitely we're in that season where we're getting ramped up. Exciting announcements, events. We're getting we're new events, and it's coming to life. It's super exciting. As someone that's gone to two, we have a lot of people, a lot of new friends. From the cards and collectibles and many other outlets that are coming in. What is as a veteran, as a VCon vet, what's a piece of advice or wisdom that you could share with someone that's going for the first time?
Again, I would just lean into knowing who you are. So it's overwhelming because there's so much to do. So you're going to need to prioritize yourself. Again, I'm all about me. So I know for me, I need sleep. So I'm prioritizing that I need to get 7 hours sleep. So I know that's already built in because last time I tried to do it all. And I was literally falling asleep during some of the speakers. And I was like, I can't do this. I have to be able to stay awake for the speakers. So no, I know sleep is like my priority. So just know yourself. So I'm level 55 in the game of life, so I don't have the 20, 30-year-old energy that I used to. So I know that sleep is like critically important for me. But if I was younger, I probably would be burning, staying up all night and doing all day as well. But because I could have back then. So just know thyself. So really know thyself. If you are an introvert, know that all you have to do is say hi, and the extroverts will take care of you. I mean, I promise you, you will be able to connect to people. And if you show up at VCon and you're having a hard time connecting, just go to the Moon shop, and there'll be someone there that will connect with you, and you'll have a great time. So if you're feeling like you don't know who to go to, just go to that. That's my suggestion. Anybody go there, and you'll find a whole crew of people that will be hanging out there having a great time. So I'm looking forward to bringing some cards to sell and opening my box. I have a box to open, so yeah,
Amazing.
so excited.
That's such a great call out. Instead of a lost guest booth, it's like if you're shy and don't know where to go or how to come out of your shell, just go to the
Just go
moon
to Jamoon.
and you'll get taken care
Yeah,
of.
you'll be
We'll find
we'll
you.
find
You'll
there'll be
find
tons of extroverts there, loving, just
that.
ready to shine on you and take good
I
care of
love
you.
that, Deb.
So yeah, so it's yeah, I mean, we just have such an amazing community, that and I promise you, as soon as you get in the stadium, you're going to be taken care of. So anybody who's shy
Mm,
and who needs a little bit extra of, being pulled into a community, you'll be just fine. And ask for help. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at how people just take you under the wing, and you'll be. I know I traveled solo both times. So yeah, I went, and again, I'll be doing the same thing this year. So yeah, so it's so much fun. It's just so much fun. I can't wait.
it's definitely an exciting event. The first time I remember seeing you is actually in the moon, or in the To the Moon streams. How did you come across those guys?
Oh, not interesting. I'm not sure. Probably through Twitter. Probably through Twitter. I probably because because I've been in the cards for a while, and I did complete a full set of cores, and then decided that I wanted to go more heavy on cats. So I sold some of my top tier one cards to go heavy on. So I got, so I have um, my very, very lucky black cat, 8.5, and then I
Nice.
got my uh, perfect Persian, my 9 perfect Persian. I've been debating whether to put these on Courtyard. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly how. I mean, Josh was streaming and Tom was streaming, and so it was just just being part of the VeeFam. You just that's who you follow. So I've been yeah, and it was so easy to get involved because I was looking because once I had my first box of cards, I was hooked, and then I was like, just like Pokemon, I got to get them all. And then
Mm,
talking to all the people that I could buy cards from, and yeah, so it's just a lot of fun to build the full set, and then really now decide where do I want to go. I'm going to try to build all, a big cat collection. That's my goal.
that's fantastic. It's you are someone you're a single mom of three, which is the hardest job in the world. And so hats off to you. I said that to you earlier, but I'll say it again. You have your own small business. You're a full-time job being a CPA. So you're connected to a lot of people that have no idea what we're doing here and what it's about. How, but even I'm assuming because I do this, maybe I shouldn't assume I do this. Even if I'm drained, I have nothing left. Like I want to get off the phone or the computer. Like I still gravitate towards those streams just to be with the fam. How would you explain like what you're doing, why you're doing it, uh, to someone in maybe another sphere of your life?
Yeah, no, I think everybody needs a hobby. I mean, so something that adds energy to you. So, sometimes being on the streams is rest. It rests my brain from, so from the day, from doing maybe more black and white work. I'm actually, just hanging out, chilling. I don't, you don't have to engage on, the stream, but you can just watch and listen. So, and the last couple ones with Tom have been hysterical. Oh my God, he's got me laughing so hard. So, I mean, so there's just, um, so but everybody needs to find their own. I picked back up the hobby of sewing again. So it's just one of those things where, really finding things that feed your soul and really being intentional about that. And VeeFriends has done that for me. Um, I know that when the VeeFriends Discord was hopping during all the release of the VeeFriends 1, VeeFriend 2, I was on there because I was dealing with the loss of my husband, and I could always go out, and you can even do it now. I can even go out there now and have a great conversation with somebody about whatever I needed. So if I was feeling sad at the moment, there would be people
Mm,
who would uplift me and shout out to Updo. He helped me with my consistency for working out. So it's just one of those things where there was always someone on the Discord that could meet a need of, motivation or, dealing with. It's just an amazing crew of people, and you can find that in any community. So I would encourage you to find community. Find community in a local church, or find community in a local volunteer activity. So it's really for people finding community, whether it's in VFam, in the V family or in another location. We're not meant to be alone. Even if you're an extrovert, you are an introvert, you're not meant to be living alone. You are meant to be in community. And I think that's something that, most people go to work and then come home and do the same thing again, just go back to work and live in their small little lives. And we want to, like, they need to be a part of a community. And with the ability of the internet now, there is no reason that you cannot be a part of any, a community. Between all the different, between Twitch and Discord and Twitter, it's amazing on the communities, the online communities that exist. So there's no more sitting in your house saying I'm lonely. You can absolutely connect with people all around the world. I actually never wanted to travel the world until I met people all around the world.
Mm,
And then I
makes
wanted to
sense.
actually travel. I'm like, oh my God, I have a reason to travel now. I had no reason to go to other countries until I met people from other countries.
It makes sense. And one of the Garyisms that he says often that I love, and it's, in the bucket of like pushing back on people against social media is like we're more connected than ever.
Yes.
Yes, we're like at the surface level, like we're alone with our devices, but to your point, we can connect with anybody anywhere in the world in seconds,
Mm-hmm.
which is profound.
It is.
You just I'm loving everything. I'm picking up everything you're putting down. What does the word community mean to you,
Oh,
though?
I I have been part of my church community for my entire life. I'll just say my entire life. And so for me, church has a special meaning too, just because of, the thin place that it is to connect to the divine, whatever you call it, whether it's God or Jesus or universe or source or, or divine within. So it's to me, being in a space where you feel safe and you can, have conversations with people about your life and really, be honest, be authentic self, um, and, really lean into not only, serving your needs, but also serving other people's needs. So it's a kind of give and take, figuring out where, we all have gifts to share and figuring out where your gifts are so that you can give in, so I say give out of your abundance. So if you get a lot of time, you can give out of your time abundance. If you got a lot of money, give out of your
Mm,
money abundance. So it's really truly leaning into who you are and what gifts you have to share, and then being part of that community in the best way you can. Um, so that's my little definition of community. Um, I hope that yeah. So anyways, that's what I
I, I love that. Give from your abundance, because we all have something.
exactly.
We all have something, and it's just we're very grateful because everyone that's kind of circulating in our world here, just aligns with the values of being kind and being so easily sharing what they have. So man, it makes it easy. Um, what you were very upfront about the messages, the couple messages you want to share. What else aren't you telling us? What else do we need to hear? Because right now you're just on a roll. Um,
Uh,
you're
yeah,
you're on a heater, as they
yeah.
say, Deb. What what else? What other nugget do you need to
So
drop?
so one of the big things that I'm working on right now is going from doing all the work myself in my CPA practice to being a leader and delegating more. And it's such a huge transition for me to go from just putting my head down and doing the work to delegating and getting others to do the work. And along this journey, anytime you make change, I really want to talk about how, doing self-assessment is so critical, knowing where you're at, and recognizing there's so many different versions of yourself, and recognize that give yourself grace that you have so much growth and potential to happen, and think about how far you've come, who you were, when you were younger, a previous level in life, and where you are now in your current level, and give yourself a lot of grace for that. um, there's so much, and sometimes maybe you're not where you want to be in life, but you've learned a lot of lessons through that time period that you need to give yourself
Mm,
grace and kudos. And so I know for me, at level 55, I'm like, oh, I should be farther ahead, those little self-talks. And you're like, nope, nope.
sure.
It takes me what it takes me. And here I am, I'm at this place where I'm ready to grow my business to another level. And so I can free up my time so I can build more businesses. That's the goal, is to build more businesses. And so get myself out of the work so I can help people build other people build more businesses and me build more businesses. So that's the ultimate goal for my life. And I know that this journey has been, um, anytime you make massive change in your life, you still need to do a little bit every day. And so I still follow that metric of 1% better every day, but still holding out the carrot of this is where I'm going to end up along the way. And however long it takes is however long it takes. So just giving yourself a lot of grace and stop comparing yourself to others. I know we all do it. I do it. Everyone does it.
Mm,
Stop doing it. It
agree.
really does not serve anyone to compare yourself to others. You have your own unique journey that you're going on. And so the more you can focus on your own self-assessment, focus on 1% better, that's where your eyes should be. And so that's the lesson that I'm currently working on right now. And hopefully that message helps with others to recognize that, we're all on a journey, and um, sometimes you need to share that journey with others so that you can, because people, it's amazing on how many things we keep secret from others. And if we can really truly share the journeys, people will be like, oh, I went through that too. And so it's really important that we be vulnerable and share with safe people. I mean, with people who are friends of yours, and know that you can find compassion for yourself, and you'll find it out in the community as well.
Mm. Yeah, and when when the environment is right for that, it's just so much easier, and that's why I really lean into what we have going on here. And to piggyback on what you said the comparing things and getting 1% better every day and focus on yourself, which is so true. Like everyone's guilty, but you know what? I don't think people do enough of, because we spend a lot of minutes looking at other people's
Mm.
Twitters, or Instagram profile, whatever they're doing, and comparing, but we don't go look at ourselves. Like we don't scroll back at our profile to see, oh wow, like look at all the gains I've
Yes.
made, or look at I set out to do this. Look how much I've improved in this area. Like we don't do that and give ourselves flowers
Mm.
enough. So if you're listening, I think you should scroll back to
Excellent.
on your feed, your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever, your website,
Hmm.
whatever, your blog, and go back 18 months and see how far you've come. Yeah, we need to do
We
that more
do.
and compare ourselves to
Yeah,
ourselves.
it's definitely, and and if you can change one thing every day, is pivot whenever you have negative self-talk. You're going to have negative self-talk. The thoughts happen. So you just got to pivot and choose a better feeling thought. Choose 1% better on your thoughts. If you can just, really truly be more graceful for yourself, give yourself more compassion, do treat yourself like you do others. Usually you treat others way better than your brain, and
Mm,
know you're not your thoughts. I love the book, The Untethered Soul. And if you really struggle with stinking thinking, or just trouble with intrusive thoughts, The Untethered Soul is a book that you need to read yesterday. It's just an amazing book to help you flip the script, to help you really untether yourself from you're not your thoughts. You're the observer. And so if we can really lean into um, that we are not our thoughts. We are the one observing the thoughts. So we could choose at any
hmm
point to think a different thought is so powerful.
Oh man, that so strong and so true. Deb, just let me know where to send the invoice, or invoice me, and let me know where to send the money. This has been an unbelievable session. Uh, couple quick ones, couple quick ones before we head to our last segment. Uh, what is the character? What VeeFriend's character do you, Deb, need to spend more time with?
Oh, that's interesting. Spend more time with. Well, when you were going to say what my favorite one was, I was just going to go right away to the Boss Bobcat because I love the Boss Bobcat. And I guess actually I've been spending a lot of time with that because that's where I'm headed, being a bigger boss, more
Yeah.
doing that. But let's see, what other character? Um, hmm. I like the Chinchilla. Um, because I know for me, rest is important as an extrovert, as someone who loves to just live life. I do need to choose rest sometimes. And so the
Mm,
Chinchilla, the chill Chinchilla is just an amazing character. I actually I created This is my NFT,
Oh, so awesome.
and so I did a and the reason I got the chinchilla was because of the cat, because I couldn't afford
Yeah,
a cat V2 and or V1 even. So I cheated and got the city scene so I could actually have the cat. So,
I
but
love that. That's a hack.
another
Another
hack. If
hack.
you need it, if you need it,
It's a two
oh
for
yeah,
one.
that's what I made. And it took me a long time to figure out which one I was gonna do, and then I finally settled on chill because as someone who's excited about life, loves to loves to do all the fun things of life. I do need to chill at times, and making sure I make time to do chill time is so important.
Amazing. Uh, and lastly, where we've hit on the point that this is such a kind, caring, thoughtful community many times. A lot of people are so generous with their abundance, giving both out in the open and behind closed doors. But is there any? I know this is a probably an unfair question, but is there anybody that you want to give roses to or blow the whistle on in a good, positive way?
There are so many people. It'd be unfair to name one. Um, it'd be unfair to name one, but I'll say that Tom has been hysterical lately. I mean, his last tweet about Chelsea was so hysterical. Oh my God, that his favorite thing to, or his best thing he can do in the world is to piss off Chelsea. I mean, how it was just so hysterical. Oh my God, and then to have
Yeah.
the gem mint caterpillar, I was like, oh my gosh, that was just over the moon. He was I laughed so hard. And then I realized that I didn't put the caterpillar in my cat collection. How ridiculously silly is that? So now the caterpillar it's a cat. It's got cat in the name.
It,
It's
it's a
now part
cat.
of my
Yeah.
cat collection. So I'm all set. I'm really hooked up now. So thanks to Chels, I now have the caterpillar in my cat collection now. So
I love that. Yes, it's a fantastic relationship, uh, and I have a front
yes,
row
you
seat.
do.
Uh,
Oh, that's right. Oh, and I gotta say congratulations on being a VeeCon speaker. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh, that is
Thank
so.
you. I'm very, yeah, super excited, very humbled. Yeah, and I'm just excited for VeeCon and for so many reasons. But yeah, that's a really fun opportunity and an acknowledgement. So
That's gonna be
yeah,
wonderful.
if you're listening to this, try to get to
Yes,
VeeCon.
yes,
On the
definitely.
fence, try to do it. It's I know it's such a cliche thing for any event in
Hmm.
any industry, like you got to get there. But this is it's just there's I couldn't say anything more true. Just try to
Yeah,
get
I
there.
know, and so
It,
if people are curious about costs, I know for me, my airfare was around 500, and splitting an Airbnb is going to be about 500, and I figure spending money about 500. So 1500 is what it's going to cost me
yeah,
pretty much to go to VCon. So, so that is a lot of money for some people, but if that's something, and then of course I got a free ticket. Someone gave me, I didn't actually get the actual NFT, but I got the use to go and, mission into it. So if
mm,
you ask around, I'm sure you can get entrance into VCon. There's a lot of people that are giving and, letting you use the
oh,
admission, which is so fabulous.
plenty of
Yeah, there's
tickets
plenty
to
of
go
tickets.
around.
So definitely, so if you live closer, it's going to cost you less. You could drive. So, if anybody, I'll make this offer now. If anybody wants to hit me up in their DMs and they want me to help them figure out how to get to VCon, how to get the money together in 30 days, I'll help, I'll help you strategize in any way I can. So, if it's a money issue, definitely hit me up in my DMs and I'll see what I can do to give you some tips and tricks of finding extra money. I'll leave you
There we
one quick
go.
tip for that. You can do a spending diet. So a spending diet is a really simple tool, whereas you give up everything. I mean, literally, cancel Netflix, cancel everything, and everything that you canceled then goes into the pot for VCon. So literally,
Mm,
don't don't do Dunkin' Donuts coffee, you don't do any of your Starbucks, or you literally for 1 month just
Throw it to one
stop it.
account.
And then when you don't do it, you put it into the VeeCon account. And you'll be surprised at how much. But now I would never do a spending diet longer than 30 days or so, unless so because depriving yourself that much could actually do the reverse, which you could go into overspending. So definitely, but a spending diet would be one of the quick tips that you can do for creating some extra cash.
Nice. Another hack. That makes a lot of sense. And that's like it keeps you
Yeah, yeah.
focused,
And
eyes on the prize,
short
short
sprint,
sprint
I know that I'm
to the
giving this
goal.
up so I can go to VCon. So
Yep.
so you can
I love that.
actually, it's like kind of like this mini reward. Oh, I can drink coffee at home instead of this so that I can go to VCon. So anyways, or
Mm,
any other goal that you want to buy something extra or whatever. So you could do, so spending diets are a short-term fix for needing extra cash.
fantastic. Deb, I can't thank you enough for coming on. You're just such an asset to our community, and you're always so supportive in chats, on X, participating in things like the dating game or coming on here. So I'm just so blessed to have you in our family here, and I appreciate you. This is the last segment called Micro Macro Spitfire. So I'm gonna rattle off a whole bunch of quick questions at you. You can answer one word as simple as you want in the macro, or you can
Okay,
get your
sure.
microscope out and articulate and explain your answer. So here we go. Micro Macro Spitfire with Diamond Deb. If you're someone is just getting to VeeFriends right now, who do they need to follow on social media?
To the moon.
Your favorite teacher growing up and one reason why?
Mrs. Snyder, she was just so kind.
What was your favorite job growing up?
Um, I don't have one. But now I'd say growing up, no, now being a CPA.
I love it. Uh, Country you most want to visit?
Still the US.
What uh, brand or artist or influencer, if they were to create an NFT project token today, would you drop everything and make it a priority to get their
Lisa
NFT?
Lister. She's an author. She wrote the book Witch, so she would be, if she had an NFT project, I'd be right there.
What was your favorite IP as a kid
Favorite
growing up?
IP? Oh,
TV show,
oh, I was a
cartoon.
Trekkie, Star Trek. Yeah, definitely William Shatner in his early days.
Favorite movie?
Princess Bride.
Secret talent you have that most people don't know.
I've been sewing my whole life, so I made my prom gowns and helped taught a lot of girls to sew, makes, skirts and stuff. So that's probably my secret talent.
What is your favorite piece of physical V Friends memorabilia?
Oh, I have too many. Um, well, I'll just go with my accountable aunt signed by Gary V. So I'll go. That's probably my favorite.
That's a great one. Which V friend needs to be voted into the White House in 2024?
Oh man, probably the Boss Bobcat.
I
Yep.
had a feeling you were going there. Bougie hotel or hiking and camping in the woods?
I want to do both. Hiking in the woods during the day and then the hotel at night.
Oh, no one's ever said that. I love that. Uh, this on on paper contractually that this is supposed to be the last VCon. Do you think there's going to be a VCon 2025, and if so, where's it going to be?
I think there will be a 2025 and it will be outside the US. I'm not sure where, but it will be outside the US.
Wine, beer, or coffee?
Um, None of the above. I would say espresso occasionally.
Okay. Gratitude Gorilla or Patient Panda?
Gratitude Gorilla. Gratitude is one of the tools that everybody needs to have in their toolkit. So when you need to get 1% better, it's gratitude. No matter where you're at. So if you're a 0 on the abundance scale right now, you need gratitude. Do as much gratitude as you possibly can. So be gratitude gorilla every day, any day. It is a go-to. It solves so many problems. I can't even begin. I could go down the micro on that one all day long on gratitude, how important gratitude is. So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. If you're got stinking thinking, go to gratitude.
Would you rather have a 2-hour group dinner experience with Gary, so let's say you and 9 other people, or a 10-minute one-on-one?
Definitely the group, 100%. The group vibe is amazing because there's something, and again, this goes back to community. When we're in community, we all get energy from each other. And it's amazing on how the question that somebody else asks is exactly the question you need because that vibe with those 9 people will be so amazing that it will be a much more powerful experience with 9 people than with just 10 minutes by yourself. It's amazing. On
Mm,
community and group vibe is a real thing. It's a real thing.
you're so right. And finally, if it was just you and him, Gary V, in a room, and you had one question to ask, and he had to answer it honestly, what would it be?
Um, hmm. So many questions. One question. Ah! Um, I guess I would ask him advice right about now, because he's a manager of a lot of people. So I would really ask for advice about managing people and converting yourself from being, because he doesn't do a lot of work right now. He's meeting with people all the time. So converting from being the doer at some point in his life when he was running the the wine store and doing all the stuff to being someone who's, leading a leader of so many. So there's that transition. So really getting some advice on that transition would be really cool.
Amazing. Deb, I can't thank you enough for coming on again. We appreciate you. Guys, at Diamond Deb
Hmm.
Bow.
It's just Bo,
Is it
yeah.
Bowman or just Bow? Just Bow. At Diamond Deb Bow. Uh, obviously, she's dropped a 900 nuggets in just this session. Get in her DMs, follow her. Uh, Deb,
See you at
can't wait to see you
VeeCon,
at VeeCon.
definitely. So exciting. Talk soon.
Talk soon.